Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video, we are going to be looking at what, in my opinion, are the best 5 formations in the game. For each one, I'll explain what their pros and cons are, but generally speaking, it's going to be a lot more pros, hence they're, in my opinion, the top 5 formations in the game. This is my team that I'm currently using. I try and regularly throughout my videos to update you guys, let you know how I'm getting on. I think this Kimmich SBC was very good value. I don't think he's got long left on him now. I play him CDM or centre mid in game. But yeah, let's get into it. So, at the moment, you can say I'm using the 3-4-1-2. I've used probably 10 plus formations fairly in depth this year. And there are just some that naturally aren't going to be top tier, like the 4-2-4. It's very unlikely that's ever going to be a top tier formation because of how open it is, but it might be a good comeback formation. So, one of the top 5 we're going to be talking about is the classic FIFA fundamental 4-2-3-1. The reason that I think this is a good formation is simply put, it's well balanced, it has some nice attacking patterns, and it's so solid defensively. There's not really a meta which it can't be at least somewhat decent. If long shots are good, we tend to have 3 cams in good positions to hit long shots. If possession's good, it's very good at keeping possession. If getting men behind the ball is very good. Defensive merit is very good. And the only real issue at all with this formation is the lack of 2 strikers up front. If you could have 2 strikers up front in this formation, it'd be perfect. Obviously, then you'd have 12 men. But you get the point. Every formation has a strength or has strengths and has weaknesses, some more than others. The only real weakness, like I say here, is the lack of 2 strikers. Most good formations in the game tend to have that. I feel like maybe FIFA 18, 17, around then, 4-2-3-1 for a good few years was pretty solidly the best formation on the game, and fairly comfortably, in my opinion. Whereas recently, I wouldn't say it's top 2 or 3 most of the time, but I'd still put it in the top 5. So I'm not sure if I'm ranking these top 5 in an exact order, but I'd definitely put this in the top 5. Are you sick to death of getting out teamed on FC24? Want that God squad you've always been dreaming of? Check out IGGM.com today, the best and most reliable place to get coins for your ultimate team. Use the link in the description and code ZEL at checkout for a 5% discount. Check out IGGM.com today. Now, if there's been a formation that I've loved this year more than any, it is the 4-4-2. The 4-4-2 as a general formation, again like the 4-2-3-1, is always pretty good. There's not really a FIFA where the 4-4-2 won't be good because it is very well balanced. It's very solid across the board because it ticks all the boxes you want for the most part, I would say. I think if there is a weakness to this formation, it can be that the lack of kind of build-up play maybe between the midfield and attack. I feel though this year where work rates tend to do a lot more, if you get players in midfield with high work rates, defensive and attacking, but that they're going to bomb up and down for you, it's going to be really effective, and this can really help this formation in general. So I really like this formation. I think it's really solid. In terms of its strengths, 2 strikers up top. You have 2 wingers who are going to cover the wings to draw players out to them. The 2 banks of 4 when defending work really well. It's very hard to play against and break down. It's got a lot of good attacking pads. Because it covers so many areas of the pitch, I would argue it keeps the ball pretty well as well. So it's not really got a massive weakness anywhere. Its biggest weakness, like I say, is maybe the gaps between the midfield and attack. But on this year with work rates, you can kind of bridge that. It's not maybe as good for long shots as some because the wingers tucked out a bit, but it's still pretty damn good for it, I would say. Another one in the top 5, in my opinion, the 4-2-2-2. Simply put, this is basically a hybrid, I would argue, of the 4-2-3-1 and 4-4-2. It's got 2 cams like the 4-2-3-1 on the outside, 2 strikes like the 4-4-2, but it does have the central cam of the 4-2-3-1 that becomes a striker, and it doesn't have left and right mid like the 4-4-2. So it probably doesn't defend quite as well, but it's probably a little bit better for long shots. I don't think it's quite as strong as the 4-4-2. I think the wings in the 4-4-2 help more defensively. And whilst they're not quite as good as long shots in the 4-2-2, I think they pull men out wide to you a bit better, which in turn is really good this year with cutbacks and does help open people up just that little bit more, in my opinion. Another one I'm putting in, I'd probably argue, if I had to say the top 2, generally speaking, I think it's still the same as day 1. I think the 4-3-2-1 and the 4-4-2 are my two favourites this year in terms of what I think have been the best formations. The three forwards work very well. They're very good at long shots, lots of opportunities for through balls. Very hard to play against someone who knows how to use this formation. The way it works this year, you can defend like a 4-4-2 as well. You can have two banks of four, so it works really well with that. It gets width. You is a bit attacking at times. You need the fullbacks and overlap. Apologies about um, constant sniffling stuff. Got a bit of a cold at the moment. The weakness of this formation is maybe that to be really effective, it does need attacking fullbacks. When the fullbacks are really attacking, you can leave gaps elsewhere. That is naturally an issue. However, it's so hard to play against. It's going forward so good. And if you don't counter-attack against it quick, it sets up like a 4-4-2. It's very hard to defend against. The final formation that I'm going to talk about is either one of these. They're very similar. The only difference is one has centre mids, one has CDMs. At the moment, I'm using the 3-4-1-2. I think with the right work rates on your midfielders who have high defensive work rates and will actually track back, I think it works better than the 3-5-2. But the cam and two strikers that you get in this formation, you don't get that in many others. The wingers, as long as they have decent enough work rates to track back. I have Mbappe on one, so he does struggle a bit with that. But I have a high defensive work rate midfield next to him. Then I have Alphonso Davies, who has medium defensive at least. If you have wingers who are fast and can stretch teams out wide, but furthermore actually track back and get involved, it's very hard to play against. Now as well, that we've got a lot of centre-backs that actually can play out the back a bit more. The passing stats high. You're even getting centre-backs like the Cabe, who's got or the Keeb, I don't know how to pronounce it, who's got ping pass. It's very easy to build out the back. This formation as well, I think, is just fun. It's a lot more fun to use. It's got a lot of nice attacking patterns. Going forwards, it's about as good as it gets out of any formation. I just think it is a little bit more liable to being countered. And if you don't have the right players or play it well, it's pretty hard to use. So there are a few. It's maybe it could be a top formation, but it's a bit harder to choose, would be what I'd say. So top 5, 3-4-1-2, 4-3-2-1, 4-2-2-2, 4-4-2, and the 4-2-3-1. To finish off, we'll just go have a quick look at some of the SBCs that are out at the moment, see what we think of these. The evolutions people keep asking me about. For the attackers, I would go Okafor from Milan and Afinia from Madrid. I haven't properly looked at the defenders yet, but that might be something I'll do in a video tomorrow. This Pinner SBC is pretty good. Teva's pretty good. Shevchenko, if they'd given him a 5-star, would have been really good. Unfortunately for Shevchenko, his agility and balance is pretty bad, which is a real shame. It's not really bad, but it's pretty bad at this point in the game. I can't believe Eusebio still. He's been out what seems the whole of the game. Lautaro Martinez, if Milan went far, would be insane, but probably won't, so I wouldn't be too bothered about that. 85 times 2, what do you need for that? Not terrible, I might do that. Bruno Fernandes, very good. And then after that, there's a lot of ones that I probably wouldn't be too bothered about. I've not seen this Pedro now. Does he have a 5-star? No, okay. Quick step, rapid, finesse, whip pass, press proven, and ping pass. He has brilliant play styles. Honestly, if this car had a 5-star weak foot or skill moves, would it be a really, really good card? How much is he? Not too expensive, but I wouldn't be too bothered about him. I don't know why they hide. Like, there should just be more tabs and stuff to quickly go through, because it takes forever to look through some of these, to be honest. But in general, there's not many must-do SBCs at the moment, in my opinion. Appreciate you all watching my content, watching the channel today. Hopefully, you've learned something new. Appreciate you guys always. Keep it spicy. I will see you guys in the next one.